a viewer, Antoine, if you're watching this video, shout out to you, and also shout out to all of you that are also watching this video. But Antoine sent me this video via email, and he's like, bro, you need to check it out, because apparently we have people claiming that they have seen some alien beings. Oh shit! Yeah, like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it, and wait for it.
We've been hearing stories about flying saucers, or UFOs, however you want to call them, for ages now. Not only that, but we also got to see some blood-freezing pictures that make our hearts skip a beat. But what about the people who claim to be from space? About the people who literally encountered aliens, talked to them, traveled with them, were raised by them, and even had kids with them? You think that never happened?
Raised by them, had kids with them? What? So you're saying that you guys did Easter eggs with aliens? What?
Because, well, aliens don't exist? Watch this video until the end, and I'm sure I'll change your beliefs. Let's dive in and see who are the people that spent a fun night in the bed with extraterrestrial creatures. Number 1. Elizabeth Clara. Back in 1956, Elizabeth Clara, who was born and living in South Africa, claimed that she had an encounter that she could never forget. Between the years 1954 and 1963, she allegedly got visited multiple times by aliens. Her first visitation supposedly occurred when she was 7, and she was one of the first women to claim a sexual relationship with an extraterrestrial. The aliens apparently visited their family farm in a disc-shaped object that hovered.
You know what's crazy here is that David Grush, I believe it happened when David Grush was in like a senator meeting, and they were talking about like, hey, there, or maybe not, but there was a document that came out that, hey, there are a lot of chicks getting pregnant by these aliens, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is going on? Right? Like, we had a story like that came out, which was truly baffling. Hashtag bafflegang. Make sure you guys encounter yourself with the like button, so the like button, do not forget you and your encounter.
And moved silently. She even claimed to have taken photos of this craft, which are of course still unverified, just like many alleged proof of extraterrestrial evidence caught on tape. And about her affair with an alien, not only did they make love for a whole day, according to Elizabeth, but she even got pregnant with an alien baby. But that's not it. The alien's name was Akon, and in 1959, he transported Elizabeth and her MG car to his home planet, Meton, where she delivered a baby boy and named him Ailing. He stayed behind on Meton to be educated, while Elizabeth reluctantly came home. Meton's planetary vibrations supposedly affected her heart, and she was consequently not permitted to return, instead receiving follow-up visits from Akon and Ailing. The whole trip, delivery and return trip, supposedly took no more than 4 months. Here's what Elizabeth had to say about her alien husband's planet. There were no cities or skyscrapers as Earth people know them anywhere on Meton. Homes were scattered in park-like grounds. There was an abundance of all things needed by civilization, food, water, and all materials for building. An unlimited supply of energy on tap from the atmosphere and the universe, no shortages of any kind, and no monetary system at all. Elizabeth's experience was safe to say crazy, but just wait till you find out about those who unalived themselves just to become aliens. Number 2, Alex Collier. The next up, we've got a former United States Army helicopter pilot who claims to have spent 3 months on an alien mothership. Alex Collier said that he spoke to 2 Andromedian aliens, Vicious and Moroanai, in the 1980s. He insists his encounter with the aliens was so extraordinary that he was taken onto their spaceship. There, he was forced to wear a special belt so the aliens could communicate with him over 3 months. According to him, while he was a child, Alex fell asleep outside his grandfather's home while playing hide and seek. When he woke up, he found himself in a dark room where he met Vicious.
Man, I played hide and seek like crazy when I was a kid. I never had any encounter like that, right? And I'm not sure if you guys heard this story or not. I believe it was called Project Serpo, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, the story was that some United States officials or military guys, right? They actually went on a different planet and spent some time there. And then they came back after some years. Yeah, I believe it was called Project Serpo. The Y-Files also made a video on it not long ago, so it was maybe I can make a video on it in the future as well.
and Moroanai. He spent nearly 3 months with them on the UFO. However, that only transpired to 18 minutes in Earth time due to time dilation or alternate dimensions, according to him. The alien duo apparently told him that humans are not alone in the universe and that there are many other alien races. But the craziest of all is that he asked these aliens how technologically advanced we were, to which they responded that the United States Army is 400 years more technologically advanced than we think they are. This is a bit concerning, isn't it?
Yeah,
Number 3.
Yeah. It's one of those things, right? Like, there was a saying back in the days. Okay, if this story is to be believed, 400 years advanced then, but there was a saying back then. It's like, whatever you think you have in terms of technology, the military has 50. They are 50 years ahead. Right, in terms of technology, like this phone that we keep around, right? Like this is nothing though. This is nothing. They are 50 years ahead of this, and whatever you can think of is gonna happen in 50 years. I mean, that's what they have. But you really cannot predict. So it's like they're 50 years ahead. That was a saying, but 400 years. I mean, sheesh.
Russian Mars boy. Boriska Kiprianovich is a Russian genius born on January 11th, 1996. Boris, as friends and family call him, was 11 when he reportedly issued warnings in a video which quickly went viral. He also met with scientists who were left baffled by his knowledge about the planetary
We all baffled. Hashtag Baffle Gang, rise up. Baffle Gang, Baffle Gang, Baffle Gang.
System at such a young age. Boris claimed that he and his species were wiped out after a nuclear conflict broke age. Scientists who were left baffled by his knowledge about the planetary system at such a young age. Boris claimed that he and his species were wiped out after a nuclear conflict broke out on Mars thousands of years ago and feared that someday Earth might suffer from the same fate. While his claims sound bizarre, his intelligence has left many researchers impressed. According to reports, his mother was aware of her son's intelligence as he was able to hold his head unsupported when he was a baby. She also stated that Boris started speaking when he was just a few months old. Just for comparison, most children start talking after about 10 months, while Boris was able to read at that age and draw when he was just 18 months old. What's scary is his statement that he has come to Earth on a mission to save our planet from a nuclear apocalypse, which wiped out life on Mars, along with others who miraculously survived the conflict. He also stated that his species are very tall, technologically advanced, and capable of interplanetary travel. They live on the red planet and stop aging after 35 and are immortal. This year he...
Can a brother get that technology? I mean, a lot of you that are past 35 years, I'm 27, but I'll be 28, pushing 30 really hard right now, man, and kind of feeling it, man. 27, that's like too old, man, too old. Some of you that are 50 plus years old, you would be like, hey son, I wish I could be 27. And me, I'm here, I'm like, I wish I could be kid. It's like one of the biggest lies that kids are told is that, bro, you need to be 18 plus, 20 plus, life is gonna be very good. Because when you're a kid, you think that you need to be, right, like 18 plus, 20 plus, 21 plus, right, you need to get older. But man, there's a saying, I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you left them. And if somebody told me that aging was, I mean, you cannot stop, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like, that's one of the biggest lie ever that kids are told, that, hey, you need to grow up, man. Yeah, when you grow up, man, responsibilities kick your ass.
Stated, I remember that time when I was 14 or 15 years old. The Martians were waging wars all the time, so I would often have to participate in air raids with a friend of mine. And even though it sounds exactly like something a child would make up, you may want to consider the fact that Boris is now 28 years old. On top of everything, he also claimed that many secrets are left to be uncovered on our planet, including the Great Pyramid of Giza, which he said is hiding something big. I just hope he's pranking all of us, because this is just too creepy. Number 4, Peter Faust. Next up, we've got a man named...
Or what if he's like a method actor, right? He's like really into his character. Or he probably believes it. He probably believes it himself. I believe he believes it. That's where I'm at.
Peter Faust. Peter was born in 1955, and he states that he has been abducted repeatedly ever since his youth. His first conscious recollection of these experiences came in 1988 when he was 33. During this encounter, Faust says he saw 2 aliens, about 4 to 4.5 feet tall, with large pear-shaped heads and almond-shaped eyes. The craziest of of all is that when he saw them approaching him, he reacted as he knew them, as he says. It's safe to say that Peter was left confused, so a few days later he went to see a psychologist, John Mack, to tell him about his experiences. Peter stated that his psychologist told him, when somebody tells me about a dream like this that they've had and they have so much emotion attached, it tells me that there's something else happening. It tells me that it's a real event. And that's exactly what makes this story
so he came out in 1994 and all the way back, holy shit, 2004, 2014, 30 years ago. Oh shit, oh shit. Man, that's crazy, right? Like, yeah, 90s was 30 years ago. Holy shit. So he came out all the way back in 1994 talking about all of his experience, by the looks of it, on Opera. Holy shit.
Scary. Dr. Mack recommended Peter some relaxation techniques, which was a huge mistake because by practicing these, Peter recalled more of his experiences. According to Peter, during the abduction, he is physically lifted, moved through a window up into a ship, which then...
So he was like in his subconscious, and slowly after doing meditation and that crap, he started to remember all that?
Moves into another ship that flies away. Moved through a window up into a ship, which then moves into another ship that flies away. He also recalled being shown movies and pictures by the aliens. In the chapter...
Can a brother know what movie you guys are watching? Were you guys watching like Fast and Furious 11 or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Were you guys watching Fast and Furious 11 or something? Guys, real quick, as we get down to the climax here, I want to say if you guys do have Twitter or Instagram, I would definitely love to have you there, just a way for secondary communication. You know what I mean? If some happens to this channel, link would be in the top pinned comment below. It's a link tree where you can catch all my other YouTube channels alongside Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and there's a secret link as well. Yeah! Alright, let's get back to the content now, boo-boo.
Peter's journey in John Mack's book called Abduction. Peter also said that the aliens performed physical experiments on him, such as taking sperm samples. At this point, I literally don't know what happened to Peter, especially after finding out Peter went through a series of psychiatric testing and was not diagnosed as possessing any pathology, which pretty much means he's not crazy. Thankfully, all of this happened in the last century, so I guess we're safe. Number 5. Marshall Applewhite. Born on May 17, 1931 in Spur, Texas, Marshall Applewhite's life started out quite normally. At a young age, he showed immense talent for public speaking and music, eventually earning a master's degree in music and focusing on musical theater. His career path, however, was anything but straightforward. Applewhite moved to New York City in an unsuccessful attempt to start a professional singing career, but his life changed drastically in 1972 when he met Bonnie Nettles, a nurse interested in theosophy and biblical prophecy. Nettles convinced Applewhite they were both prophets referenced in the Book of Revelation, and this belief marked the beginning of their journey together, which eventually led to the formation of the Heaven's Gate cult.
Man, he's scary looking though.
White and Nettles, who saw themselves as messengers began to travel across the country, preaching their beliefs and gradually attracting a group of followers. They proposed that the Earth will get recycled and that they and their followers needed to leave the planet to reach a higher spiritual plane. However, the turning point came with the appearance of the Hale-Bopp comet in 1997. Applewhite was convinced that this comet signaled their departure from Earth. He believed a spaceship trailing the comet would take them to the next level. Man, what was this guy on? Along with the departure signal came the end of this story, because believing that their souls would ascend to the spaceship and be given new bodies, the group members committed mass suicide in a rented mansion. People around the world made fun of their stupidity, but what if their souls really did get ascended to the spaceship and they're now living...
Oh my god. Nah, bro, nah.
...a whole new alien life? Comment down below what you think about this. Number 6. Vinnie O. Vinnie O from Los...
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Winnie the Pooh.
Angeles identifies as neither male nor female. She...
Stunning and brave, stunning and brave.
I mean, they spent over $50,000 to look like a genderless alien. They did this so they could reflect their inner feelings of being a literal...
We had a similar case, but that guy like cut his ears and did a whole lot of crazy stuff, wacky stuff, and to become like an alien kind of ride. Yeah, I mean, holy shit, like, what we doing here, man?
alien. So in order to do this, Vinnie O underwent a series of surgeries, including a nose job, removing nipples, genitals, belly button, forehead realignment, ear pinning, cheek and jaw implants, eyelid revision, and who knows what else. Do you think they look like aliens? Number 7. Nina Kulagina. Born in 1926, Nina Kulagina is a Russian woman who gained massive fame for her psychic powers, particularly in psychokinesis. Nina joined the Red Army's tank regiment at age 14 during World War II and later became a housewife. She gained worldwide attention in the 1960s when silent black and white films made.
Why you gotta say this dramatically? Okay, she did all that, gained psychic abilities, became famous, but then became a housewife after that, you know? Like, why you gotta sound like so dramatic, like it's a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. I mean, you know, like, yeah, yeah. I mean, you can be a working woman or you can be a housewife. It's perfectly fine. You do what you do. You do what you like to do, boo.
For Soviet authorities under controlled conditions showed her moving objects without touching them. While something such as this can seem quite skeptical, there are those who believe that she was the real deal. Public suspected she used hidden magnets and threads to perform her amazing feats. Nina recalled.
I just said it like that way. I didn't meant to say it that way, but I was like, yo, magnets, and he brings that up too.
As a child, that her mother was able to move objects with her mind. This seemed impossible to Nina, but she would watch in awe as her mother focused intently on household objects as they began to spin, drag, and even fly across the room. Many years later, when Nina realized that her motor skills had been hindered during the war, she wondered if this strange ability her mother possessed could be passed on to her, and as she would soon learn, it most definitely could. For Nina, the objects began to move when she was angry. She had very little control over it, but slowly she began to harness this ability and would find herself in periods of deep meditation. Her mind would become crystal clear, and her focus on the object was at its prime. She would.
Okay, that's cool and all, but how is this story linked with like the Alamos, the aliens, right? Like, how is this story linked with the aliens? We wanna know. We wanna know.
Feel a sharp pain in her spine and her vision would blur. At that moment, Nina knew that it was time to move the object. When she mastered her skill, she decided to show it to the public. One physicist even stated that he once observed Nina mentally projecting the letters A and O onto a sheet of photographic paper. She was also capable of transferring an outline of an image she was looking at onto photographic paper as well. These abilities often came with a harsh aftermath, however. Nina would suffer unexplained burn marks on her hands after demonstrating her powers, her clothes even catching on fire at one
Radiation?
point. One European.
Radiation? Was she? Oh shit! Yo, what if? Okay, I'm only assuming. Like, what if she was like radiations, like sending out radiation, and she got it somehow from the Alamos, the aliens?
A journalist even claimed that Nina had mentally caused a red patch of discomfort to appear on their arm after demonstrating a telekinetic test for them. And after some time, Nina's skills caused her to lose weight. Her heartbeat became irregular, and she would spend days in bed suffering severe exhaustion. These health problems would haunt her until her death in 1990 at the age of 64. Till this day, no one knows how Nina nor her mother possessed these skills, but we can only assume it was no one else, but aliens who gave it to them. Number 8. Man from Tord. In July of 1954, the story of John Zegras, better known as Man from Taured, began. One day, this man came to the airport in Tokyo and gave the officers his passport from a country called Taured, a country that literally does not exist in our reality. He claimed that Taured has been a nation for over 1,000 years, situated between France and Spain. When officials showed him a map, he pointed to the location of Andorra and dropped his jaw when he realized Taured was not there. John had currency from several European.
Yeah, I believe I heard this story in like a time traveling video, right? Like, it sounds like a time traveling video.
Countries on himself, and even stamps in his passport from previous visits to Japan and other countries. This mystery got even more tangled when the hotel claimed to have a reservation at, the company he was supposed to meet with, and the bank that issued his checkbook all had no record of him. But the story gets even crazier. Officials detained him and put him in a room guarded by security guards, but when they came to check up on him, the officials found out he disappeared from the room, which was several floors up without a balcony. balcony. Even crazier is that his personal documents, which were in the airport security room, disappeared. This mystery has led to numerous theories suggesting that the man was from a parallel universe or time traveler. I don't know what it was, but I'm sure he's got some strong connections with
strong connections with aliens. Guys, we're running out of time. I will definitely make a part two video of this, but for now I'm not sure if you guys were able to check this video out or not. This is truly insane. Apparently aliens coming out of the underground, right? So check out this video. We'll have part 2 on this very soon as well.